This I'm going to try to give a guitar lesson for you people, what I think should be everybody's first guitar lesson. Like, basically it's the basics of how to play blues. And what that, the purpose of that is, why I think it should be the best thing for anybody to start with, is because it gives you the ability to play with other musicians really fast. And you know, when you're playing guitar, you know, that's one of the funnest things, is to be able to play with other people. And you might learn, you could teach yourself 10 songs by reading guitar tabs, but for you to be able to improvise with another musician, you're not really going to be able to know how to do that, you know what I mean? Let me check, see, actually, I just don't know how close I am to standard. Tune up here. So, I'm going to teach you how to play a standard blues progression in the key of A. And the reason why I go with the key A, I feel like it's the most comfortable on the fretboard for most people. And also, if you're starting in the key of A, like, that's the first note within all the music, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, you know. So I think that makes a little more sense. A lot of people like to teach it in C, which, if you know, like, if you're playing in A, like, the key of C kind of goes with it anyways, so you'll start to figure that out. But what you got to know for blues is there's 3 chords, and there's different variations and different chord variations, but for the most part, if you're in the key of A, you're using A, D, and E, those 3 chords. Now, I'm going to show you the simplest way how I play it. I'm not a blues expert by no means. I just kind of started teaching myself how to play blues a few years ago. You know, I started out playing a lot of Metallica and stuff like that. But, so the first chord, and this is what I do, is, you know, I play with, like, the wraparound thumb technique, you know. So what I play here is, like, I bar it, but this is the first chord. Now, I'm not strumming the open A string. I'm actually muting that between my index finger and my thumb here. So when I'm actually barring this, the only notes I'm hitting is on the other 5 strings. The open A, it sounds like this. So I'm muting it. You see what I'm saying? So there's the first chord. So it would be the 5th fret all the way across, except for the open A string. Like, you're just not even, I mean, you could, like, fret it, but I mean, there's really no point. But so this is like a minor 7th, really, because you would play the major kind of like this. See how it sounds happier? That's the major, but this is more of a minor. But it also sets you up better for playing in the minor pentatonic scales, which you're going to be doing a lot when you're playing blues. You use the major too, and I do some, but I'm not very proficient at it, because I'm just, you know, I'm teaching myself, so I only know so much. So we got the first chord. This is your A minor 7th, and the next one is going to be D7. And so it's going to be the fifth string, fifth fret, the fourth string, fourth fret, and the third string, the G string, and it's going to be fifth fret also. And it's just those three strings, and you're going to fret them like this. Sometimes I'll hit like the open B with it, like just weird stuff like that when I'm improvising on it, you know, messing with different rhythms or. Yeah, but you know, you could fret the B string on the fifth fret as well with it. And even the fifth string on the or the first string on the fifth fret, you can even do that too. But these basic three notes gives you your D. It's a D major 7. And the next chord is the exact same chord moved up 2 frets. And this is going to be on the 7th fret now. So you're going to be on the 7th fret, 5th string, the 6th fret, 4th string, and the 3rd fret, or not the 3rd fret, the 7th fret, 3rd string, G string. So, and then your standard blues progression. You know, a 12-bar blues, I mean, I'm not the best at counting and playing at the same time, but, you know, I'll try to give it a go here. So you would kind of like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4, 9, 2, 3, 4, 11, 10, 2, 3, 4, 11, 2, 3, 4, 12, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3. I'm messing it up a little bit, but I'll try to count it again because that's very important, because that's the progression, like that's your turnaround. But I'll play it without counting too, so you can kind of hear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4, 9, 2, 3, 4, 10, 2, 3, 4, 11, 2, 3, 4, 12, 2, 3, 4. That's bars. That's at the bars. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the next bar it's 2, 2, 3, 4, and then the next bar is 3, 2, 3, 4. You see what I'm saying? So that's how you count your bars when you're playing. And you might stomp your foot like 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what I'm saying? I'm not perfectly in time or anything, but I'm trying to show you like that's your 12 bars, your 12-bar blues. You see what I'm saying? And then when you're playing it, you know. That's how blues works. Blues is like the whole song is just played over and over like that in a cycle. It doesn't matter, you know. I mean, it's just a turnaround. That's where you get the turnaround, because it turns around. And you go back to that E and back down. Start it over, you know. And you know, one of the things you'll notice too, you saw like I was changing the strumming pattern. Well, you can also use this note, which is the same note as your root note, your A note, but the octave is here. So now if you're holding that first chord, you can hammer onto that note. That's one of the most common things in blues. So what they'll do is they might do this. Now, if you're further ahead, like if you already, if you can, like let's say you're not a complete beginner of playing guitar, and so you've already got this part, okay? Well, you probably know the minor blues scale, you know? Well, I don't know exactly how it's played blues-wise. I think it's more like something like that, but it's the minor pentatonic scale. So you know, you take that, and what you do is you start adding those notes in, and even the in-between notes, and the notes that are, you know, below it and above it. But one of the ways I do it, sometimes what you can do is you can play the exact same scale, like a fret down, but only for a second. So like listen to this. I'm gonna do it, like I'm gonna play a little bit of the regular scale, and then I'm gonna play it like just a half step down, or just one fret down, the same scale. Just use a little bit of the same notes, but it's out of key for a second. Sounds kind of cool, you know, like. So I was in it for a second, like, you know, you can hear how like it don't sound right, but you only do it for a second. You know what I'm saying? You just pop in there for a second on the wrong notes, and then right back to key, and it starts sounding cool. It makes no sense, but it's one of the ways I do it to break out of the pattern, you know what I mean? And you can also do it, you can do it one fret up. You can start one fret up. It's kind of weird, but what's happening there is you're actually, like, some of the notes you're hitting are part of the major scale, but like sometimes you don't always have, you know, sometimes you're not always thinking about all the scales. Sometimes you're just playing, so it works, you know. And then when you get good at, like, and this is what you do on your own, you know, you can sit here and just time you improvise it different, you know. That's it. And if you want to play blues in a different key, guess what? You just move down 2 frets and you're playing G. sometimes you play the same thing, you just play it in the wrong spot and go right back to it, you know what I mean? It's pretty good. And the other thing you can do is, let's see here. Well, you know what, I'll just leave it at that. But another thing I want to mention is if you're playing with another guitar player, let's say you got a buddy, he's not that good on guitar. You teach him how to play a 12-bar blues. Teach him how to play the chords, right? And guess what? Now you can play leads while he's playing. Alright, so like you're improvising leads. Whatever you're doing, you're just improvising leads, having a good time. And then once you finish your solo, he's gonna hear it, and then you come in and you just start playing along with him. And after you're done playing along with him, or while you're playing along with him, hi there. I'll shut the door for you. I'm giving a quick guitar lesson. You're coming in? Yeah, I'm giving a guitar lesson for YouTube, teaching people how to play blues.
I'm just gonna go sit in front of the heater.
Alright. You. Hey there, Tanka. That's the dog. His name's Tank. And also my girlfriend. Her name's Marissa. She's very beautiful. Anyways, what I'm saying, so like, yeah, like you teach your buddy, maybe he's not that good at guitar, but you teach him the standard blues, He's playing rhythm, you're playing lead, but then you start playing rhythm with him, and well, if you showed him how to fucking improvise a little bit, then, you can take turns. So then you'll play the rhythm, and he can do some leads, and you just go back and forth. That's how they trade off. When you be watching all them old blues players, back in the day, Stevie Ray Vaughan and Albert King and stuff, they're just trading off. They're taking turns, and they're just improvising and having a good time and just communicating on instruments. And anybody can do this. You don't have to be you don't have to be super talented. You just have to know the basics. All right, and one of the other things, once you've mastered what I've showed you here, is you should learn how to play all the pentatonic scales, all the way up and down the neck, which I've been working on myself because I just been lacking. So this is the A chord. On like that type of pattern, but that's the first pentatonic scale for the key of A up at the top. This would be, I don't know what position they would call it, because technically they always call first position the scale that everybody knows. There's that, and then the next one is, what is the next one here? Right here. And then your play it like that. I would play it like this pattern. Here, I'll do it on the regular one. This is the pattern you want to play on the regular minor scale. I'm playing it back. That's the pattern. You can play that pattern on every scale position, though. You don't have to play it on just the standard one. Messing up a little bit, but I need to practice. You see what I'm saying? But I know it. But like, if you can figure out how to play those real fast, you'll start sounding like Bonamassa when he's like, you know, doing that in between your regular blues improvisations. If you're doing that pattern, like. That kind of pattern, but you can also start once you get that pattern mastered, is which I want to be able to do, and then like play those patterns like down, but like down this way, but across this way at the same time. So you're moving between the scale patterns, but with the same strumming pattern even, and you're gonna have different sounds and stuff. And so that's where I'm trying to get to. Like I'm trying to evolve to that point right now. So I'm practicing all the scales and every key with this pattern. And I'm trying to get to where I can burn them faster, hopefully, eventually. But yeah, that's the trials and tribulations of teaching myself how to play blues. And I pretty much did it without like learning any actual blues songs. I just learned the chord progression. So I haven't actually like I know a little bit of blues. I know how to play a little bit of Stevie, like. That's like the only blues song I know. I mean, I know like basic blues, like. Those kind of things, and you can do that, but like for me, I don't find that's advantageous for when you're playing the blues. Like if you're doing it up here, like. I'm messing up because I'm not used to even playing it like that, but it's something I need to work on myself. But that's part of me having to learn all the scales and all the positions better to where I don't have to think about it as much. But like yeah, you can improvise up there like that, but like if I'm playing that stretch blues, that like it's weird to like try to like improvise leads on your own strumming, like because a lot of times when you're a guitar player, you're playing on your own, you're playing by yourself. So that's why you always see Stevie. He's always using that thumb technique. Why is he using that thumb technique all the time? Because he's always using that thumb technique because it makes it easier for jamming leads and rhythm on his own. yourself. I mean, if you're, you know, like I said though, if you're playing up here and jamming on it, which is basically the same as a stretch. So it's not as bad if you're doing it up there. So a lot of times when you see him playing that boogie woogie blues, he's playing it up here. He's not ever doing that. Trying to break his hand, you know? Like he's not, I mean, sometimes maybe he does that kind of stuff, but most of the time he's making it easy so he can improvise his leads, you know? But I'm not Stevie Ray Vaughan. I can't play as good as him, you know. But that's what I take away from his playing, you know, his rhythm and lead style, because he does it all on his own most of the time. But that's why it is kind of cool when you see like Stevie Ray Vaughan and Albert King jamming and playing, dude, and oh, that's pretty awesome. Like that's one of the coolest videos I've ever seen. But the other coolest video I ever seen is probably, you know, from blues standpoint is I don't care what anybody says, but Live at the El Macambo with Stevie Ray Vaughan is the best. But this, you know, I think we're gonna end it here, but I just wanted to give people a standard lesson of blues that really teaches them something so that they can play with other people. You know, you teach your buddy how to play 3 chords in a strumming pattern. Bam, you guys can play back and forth. You know, that's what's fun, is communicating with your friend as a musician. So, I'm going to leave it at that.